Hey guys, and welcome to Roll for Damage. Tonight we have Heart of the Plains, the finale, the big one. These players have been a little bit stressed all week, except for one who just doesn't seem to bother at all.
He's a god.
It's gonna be a thing. So yeah, I hope you all hear and enjoy what's to follow. Before I introduce you to all my players, I just want to say thank you to Brepai for the amazing artwork. As always, she puts up there. These other players are all from her other areas around the interwebs, and they will let you know more about that as they get to them. We have more games coming up in the future. We have some that are running right now as well. We have this one. We have on Monday, Empire of Darkness, which is a Warhammer-based 5e D&D game, which both Showgrill and Agent Number One play in. We have a game on Wednesday night, a Starfinder game based on like a Ridley Scott style Aliens adventure, which runs for 7 or 8 more weeks, I believe. So yeah, show up and check that out. And we have a few more coming up, which I'll let the players announce, and we'll get you a bit more information about that at the end. If you want any more info about us and what we do, check the panels below. We've got our Twitter, we've got our YouTube, Discord, all that jazz. Go check it out. We've also got our merch store on Patreon. You can enjoy those if you want to support us some more. Yes, there's cool mugs. He has the red one. And
no, you have the red one. My red one.
So yes, okay. Moving right along, let's get into the players. Starting with Felix O'Farah.
Hey guys, I am spoiler alert Reese, or you can just call me Reese. Either or is fine. I am playing Felix O'Farah tonight. I am also part of another West Australian group called Nerds of the West. We play board games and video games. And we do stuff all across the internet, so hello.
Smooth. All
right. I'm always so nervous when it comes to these things because I'm like, how do I plug myself?
You've only gotten better at it.
How do you plug yourself?
I left that one.
Yeah, but everyone saw it coming. Right, next along we have Dominic Safroy.
Hello, I am Dominic Safroy, also known as Dominic the Wanderer. Also on Twitch, known as Agent Number One. I don't even. Do I have to describe myself in this one? I guess not really.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm the arcane archer shooty boy of the group, who's a human who's been alive for like 500 years and came to the Shadow Plane to figure out how to break a curse and let himself die. I am here also in the Empires of Darkness campaign that plays on Mondays on Roll for Damage. I'm coming up in another upcoming campaign in the future that we'll be announcing soon. And I'm also part of the Wonders and Blunders crew, which you can find links for down below in the chat and whichever way that is, which is a 5th edition podcast that's been running for over a year that I do the sound editing on and I play in. And it's a great little group, fun little adventure. And we've just gone hard back into recording new episodes. So we're getting a bunch of new stuff coming up.
All right. Next up, we have Tigariel.
Hi everybody, I'm Showgrill. I'll be playing Tig or Tigariel now because she can say and probably spell her full name, but it won't be for long. Yeah, I pretty much live here on this channel. I love it. You can find me here, well, up until now on Friday nights, being Tig. You can also find me here on Monday nights for the Empires of Darkness game, which I play with the agent over there, I think on my screen, I'm not sure. Well, that way. And also be in a couple of upcoming games soon, which will be announced on the grapevine very shortly. But yeah, we are here, and Tig's going to be big and strong for all of you, and she loves you very much. Oh, also on my own channel, I will be playing, thanks to Nova, I'm going to be playing Outlast.
Yeah, that'll be great.
At night. In the dark.
Oh man, I gotta tune in for that for sure.
I will have scares on my thing activated as well.
All right. So moving on to the last player, we have Ballast Day.
Hey guys, I'm Josh the Pirate. I play Valostay, the Bard at Din. I'll be doing that here this evening. This is my first campaign with Roll for Damage, but it's not going to be my last because exciting news. I'm going to be DMing a campaign coming up, replacing the Empires of Darkness in a few weeks on Monday nights. So stay tuned for that shit. It's got cute woodland animals and scary fire demons in it. Spoilers. And when I'm not doing that and all of the other ridiculous things that I do, I am also a part of There Be Dragons, where I play Skien Felspar. We are a WA-based 5e D&D game set in a gunpowder-style world with a huge overarching narrative and deep, deep story, and it's very frustrating. We've just released Ep 17 or something, and it's cool. You should check it out.
All right. I believe that's all the players. So let's get down to it.
I'm shaking.
We will have Strogrill explain last session. Should do a recap for everyone.
Okay. We're gonna have someone correct me for the parts that I will inevitably miss. So we arrived in the plains, arriving off of the boat, and we were coming up a hill and we saw a tiefling fighting off a bunch of undead. We approached and evidently found out that it was someone that Dominic used to fight alongside. It was Trina, the tiefling, and she was defending Vanny, who was standing there pretty much being eaten away over time by the power of Zeus. She couldn't really contain it any longer, and then Tig tried to help, but evidently got burnt with fire because Tig's made out of wood, and Dominic offered to help. Vanny couldn't hold on to the power anymore and let it all go. Dominic somehow managed to contain all of it, and Vanny was back to normal for a little while. Everyone got to have a quick little meet and greet, and then eventually, what did we do? Then we left to go to find Pyre, because we were told that was our next destination. We did also have a nice little, very sad moment where Felix found out where his dad was and that he was being stuck in a time loop effectively for however long that was. Then we went to find Pyre. So let me check my notes because this is stressful.
Sorry, my dad's stuff happened the session before, but that's fine.
It's part of my notes again. I don't know why. And Twig told Tig that she wouldn't live very long because she didn't have all of Nissa's heart. Because if you all remember, Tig gave up her heart to save Felix, and she didn't have everything of Nissa's to stay alive for a long time. So that was a bit of insight from Twig. We went and found Pyre. A long, very unpleasant battle ensued, and Dominic just let his rage out on Pyre, who evidently is Achilles. And he had the pleasure of taking down Achilles with a shot to the ankle, basically. And he thoroughly enjoyed it. So, Pyre died. We took a couple of his things, which turned out to be the keys to a cage, which had Karzuk imprisoned in it. So we then approached the cage. Karzuk offered up the rest of Nissa's soul, which he had captured into a gem, and he said, if you let me out, I will help you defeat the guardian of this gate, plus I'll give you this. So he effectively was let out by Valostay and everybody. Valostay made the first move, and then we let him out. He was a man of his word. He gave up the rest of Nissa's soul, and then he charged up Kamehameha and helped us fight off this gate guardian to some degree, and then bounced out of there. We fought him off. We pretty much got him down to 0, and rather than dying, this thing became a sphere of annihilation. And and it started to regenerate from the Sphere of Annihilation. Vanny decided that she was ready to go, so she decided to take the Sphere of Annihilation with her to Oblivion.
It also killed Dio.
It also killed Dio, you're right. Oh god, I forgot. Oh, that was stressful. And then Dominic effectively, during this, flew through the gate to whatever was on the other side. Superman style. He had a red cape and everything. He flew up to what seemed to be some sort of a window or a rib cage, and went through it to this other place which had 3 gods in there. There was Apollo, and there was Hermes and Dionysus. Sorry. Dionysus. My apologies. And he had a nice little communion with them, nice little powwow, where he then found out that Apollo began to breathe out a swarm of flies, and rats began to boil up from the earth beneath his feet. So we thinks that we've been
Regular
duped.
God stuff.
Yeah, regular god stuff. We thinks we've been duped. It's a trap.
All right, so I'll take it from there because that last bit was a little off. You did say before we started that you don't quite remember the end.
Yeah, the
But
whole Dom
yes,
thing was a bit
so-
confusing.
Dom came in, saw all these dead, scattered bodies. Apollo turned to him, took the bow from Dom, and broke it. And tarnished shards of silver became the string. The bow was made of bone, as all that sort of like enamel and stuff peeled away. And then he started to breathe out flies, and rats boiled up out of the earth, holding him aloft. At which point, Hermes and Dionysus gave him a nice big shoulder charge, and Hermes turned to Dom, and then we cut to black as the session ended. So, starting with Val and Tig on the bridge.
Why do you
You're
have to
starting
begin
with
with
us?
us? Why could you not with us?
Stressful.
There are demons flying towards you.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
From the castle across the wall, there, which is made of, it's a throne carved from a mountain with a massive skeletal figure robed on top of it. It roared into the night sky, and you had the little pinpoints of light, of this dark light circling around his head, broke away, and you can now see that they are many, many demons.
Hmm.
I have a little figure to show you. See, this kind of looks like this.
Jeez.
Oh, no.
How many of those? 996 of them?
Hey,
You can both roll history or religion checks.
I
I,
should write the number down.
hey, Carl,
I'm-
what's the blue stuff?
I'm
evil
Spirits.
spirits of what?
X.
problems.
History and religion, both absolutely terrible.
You can roll it.
Oh.
Go for it.
Let's
Roll
just
one or the
see
other.
what happens.
I'll do religion.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh.
Tig, no, you do not know anything. But you, Valiste, you look at these things and you know from old texts and documents that these creatures were once the Baelors that served Orcus.
But don't anymore.
They don't, because Orcus was enslaved to the will of the Endless, and
Ah.
all of the demons that served him now
Serve the
serve
endless
the god of
lord.
the dead. Yep.
Oh, that's very good.
So these
Super cool.
Baelors
Cool.
have had all their flesh more or less stripped away, skeletons showing through dull, reddish skin, lightning crackles down their blades as they fly towards you. It is told that there are 996 of these things remaining. They did stand at 1,000 strong,
Not
but
too many.
4 were
Hera.
killed a lifetime ago by Hera, who became the Lady of Ravens,
Sure.
by the blade that you still hold while she was mortal.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This is the myths. This is the religion behind it.
Cool and groovy. Okay.
So these are
And
flying
4 have been
towards-
killed, so you can kill them.
Look.
They
Can
were,
be killed.
they were killed one at a time by her and all the other gods she traveled with before they ascended, while they were mortal. So it was like a 5 or 6 to 1 at a time when they did that. So yes, there is almost just a legion of them flying at you.
I forgot my box of tissues for crying.
what do you guys want to do on that bridge?
Okay.
I'm going to turn to Valiste. I'm going to reach into my pack and grab out the little rock carving of book and the gem.
I cast regeneration on myself, and I say, "Fine. It's been an honor, Tig." And then I open my arms for a hug.
And give him a hug.
And then I cast Dispel Good and Evil on her.
I
burning
would
my
like
hero
to
point to stop
punch him.
it.
Hold up. No. Okay.
Sorry, I'll let him finish. Sorry.
No. The problem is he took your action away by making you hug him. By making you hug him, so you don't know he's casting because it's behind your back.
No, he started casting.
No. I know.
I spent my hero point.
No. Tig, Sarah, sure. Calm down a second.
No.
You lean forward to hug him. You wrap your arms around him. And you feel this tug inside you. She can't stop it. You burnt your hero point. You're only one. What do you say to her as she's fighting against this dissolution?
I say, "I'm sorry, Tig, but you have a story left to tell. Go and save Nissa."
This was my job.
It's my job now, sweetheart.
Okay.
Then, as she's disappeared, I turn and I look up and I raise my glowing sword to the sky, and I channel my will into it to make it glow as bright as I possibly can make it, and say, "Come and get it, you bastards!"
As he does that, Tig, you are bathed in this brilliant light from the blade. You know that Uncle Val, the guy who brought back your memories, who helped you get in contact with Nissa, who got you through the library, who's brought you this far, has just decided to sacrifice himself so that you can get away.
My battleship.
Despite the fact you are fading away and you know you haven't got long left, after what Book said, you can feel that sort of tiredness seeping in. The sunlight from the blade just sort of, for that moment, as you realize what he's doing, all the flowers down your arm bloom. So the last thing that Valiste is going to see as Tig fades out is just her looking shocked, I imagine, and sad somewhat this is happening.
Yeah.
But it's also blooming as if in springtime. And she's gone. And you are stuck there with 996 undead Balors coming at you.
Can I use the ring to contact Felix?
He can be talked to. The other two are too far away. They're in separate planes.
I just send him a message saying, "Mate, I need you to do something for me. Find Tig. She'll be somewhere in the Feywild and probably pretty mad at me."
Val, what are you talking about? What have you done?
Tell her, mate, tell her I'm sorry.
Val,
Say hi to your dad for me when you find him. Goodbye, mate.
Val.
Run.
Fuck. Val.
While I'm doing this, I'm also using all of my remaining level 1 and 2 spell slots to cast Cure Wounds as many times as possible.
Okay, I'll let you just do that in roll 20 so you can get your health back to full, and we'll come back to you in a minute because after the break, I'll tell everyone what both sides of this planned so you can see how and why this happened the way it did.
Yeah.
Because everyone had plans before coming into the session. But moving from this, except for Kieran apparently.
Never
Dom.
planned.
You are standing with Hermes looking at you, and you can just hear the sounds of punches as Pan is pummeling Apollo. And as you look over, you watch marble crack under him as he's just piling these shots in. You watch as like rats burst underneath him just through the sheer force of these punches. It's, yeah, violence. Hermes looks at you. He looks very tired. His flesh seems to have a faint glow coming from beneath his skin. It's almost like a manifest divinity. Do you want to say anything? Or do you want
I recognize him as Hermes. I assume.
Yes, you do.
I'm a little confused, but I'm also here looking for you. The Lady of Ravens sent me. And what is happening to Apollo?
Dominic, my brother was seduced by the dark a long time ago. Apollo is dead and gone. That is something else. Apollyon, the Devourer.
Well, why would Charon tell me to bring the bow to him then?
His eyes sort of widen for a second. He's like, puts a hand on your shoulder. Firstly, I'm not the Hermes the lady seeks. That is
I
another.
kind of thought not. Yeah.
And you, child, will need to run. You need to tell your friends what's happening here and what is coming.
I don't know what's happening
Apollo.
here.
He is the second, the plague, the white horseman. Charon is the last. You've released him. Charon made you release him.
Okay.
Do you have anything to say, or do you want me to? He's going to wait a second to see if you have a response.
Where are the others? Where is Zeus and Poseidon and everyone else who was devoured?
He sort of waves his arm around to all the dead bodies you see lying around.
No. But I saw them. I saw them so recently alive.
Not anymore. Apollo, what he's become is a soul-devouring monstrosity. Look, you know me as Hermes thrice-born, and I am the messenger god. But I'm going to need you to deliver the message. I know what you wish, but your family, your people, all of existence, they need you to take up this mantle. You've carried that potential in you. You have Ares and Hades and Athena, and he looks down at your gauntlet and he's like, well, maybe in the end, Vanny. And your little gauntlet, your gauntlet of Athena, as you look down, it's no longer a Medusa's head. The hair is now of this sort of like brilliant reddish copper, and the face has changed to be Vanny.
Oh.
I believe you were told that you was to give her that when she was worthy. Apparently she became worthy.
I think Dominic's legs go out under him.
He catches you under the arm. He's like, come on.
But if she's then I'm what do you need me to do?
I need you to run. Let people know what's happening, what's coming. You will take on the mantle, be the messenger, be the wanderer. It's what you are. You don't realize it. You've been an immortal, wandering around with the power of several, well, minor now, but deities within you. Everywhere you've stepped, you've left stories in your wake. Haven't you felt it? Haven't you realized you're more?
Yeah, but we can't stop this. I mean, we made a deal with him. We have to stand aside when he shows up.
You do. But the word you carry to others is just as important as your resolve. He looks around and you can see that they're sort of like wrestling back and forth. Look, you have the power needed to stop the flood that is coming. Your friends are about to drown in dark fires and death. You need to get to them. You're going to need to help them. I can hold Apollo back for a short time, but we need someone to pass this on.
All right. I'll return to the others. We'll get the hell out of this plane and then.
He reaches out a hand to shake yours.
Yeah, I return it and wrist salute.
Yeah, and he takes you by like the bicep at the same time. He said, "You can resurrect one. I will lend you power. Just one person, and hear me out on this. I will hold Apollo here and use some of my power to help your friends. A small thank you for what you're trying to do. But the one I ask you to resurrect is the former guardian, Pyre. He will slow the tides. I know you don't get along. There was a reason he was chosen. The Nightwalker that you fought corrupted him over centuries. But the warrior you knew in life was the greatest warrior to have walked the world for millennia.
He's just gonna be really pissed off when that happens.
You sort of see Hermes reaches up a hand and like makes a tearing motion, and you see like reality sort of tears, and you see Valiste standing before just this flight of demons, and Achilles or Pyre's weapons laying on the bridge.
One of them. The other's broken.
Yeah, I know. He's going to need some help.
All right, let's boogie.
Okay.
And I think Dominic kind of like looks down at his hands, preparing to go into battle, and going, without my bow, I'm. That's where my power came from.
Silly child. And there's a grunt behind you, and as you look over your shoulder, you can see Apollo's on his back, Dionysus or Pan on top of him. They've been fighting, and there's just a hand sticking out of Pan's back, and there's this wrenching sound as he withdraws his hand from the cavity of Dionysus' chest. He lets out this big sigh, and flies just spill out of Apollo and start biting and eating into the flesh of Dionysus, just bare bones. Apollo stands up. Okay, quickly then. We stand no chance here. Tell your friends what's to come. Spread the word. You'll forevermore be the wanderer, the traveler, the trickster, the light in the dark, and the archer. And he sort of lets go of you and leaves a hand holding onto your wrist for a moment. You watch this glow that was in his flesh like move down through his arm and into you, and you see that same luminescence now spilling out of you, just a little bit. As it flows across you, you feel stronger, faster, sort of sure of yourself, and the slot on your back where you usually have stored your bow, you feel this like familiar weight settle into it. This is the start of your apotheosis. It will take time to understand your full power, and it's going to overcome you soon. Help your friends before time runs out. And he sort of again makes a wrenching motion with his hand, and this door in reality slides aside.
Thank you. I won't let you down. I won't let any of them down. As I look around at the bodies in the room.
As you do, you both sort of look to Apollo for a moment, and he's standing over this destroyed Dionysus with the bodies of the rats around. He's still sort of being lifted up, and he waves a hand across all the corpses, and all their skin starts to slough off. All the bones meld together, and as he raises his hand up into a fist, the bones start shattering and reforming until they are the basic structure of a horse, and then all the skin and viscera on the floor starts forming up around it until there is a pale white horse.
That's hella badass, I just want to say. That is the sickest, most badass skeleton horse I have ever heard of.
Is that in character or out of character?
No, but I mean, I think Dom's eyes are like, oh shit, as he like falls through the door.
Okay. And as you run through the door, Hermes turns, slides his hand out, and his weapon, the Caduceus, I believe is called, sort of, they prepare to fight. The door swings closed. Now you run out the door. You just keep running, and you realize you're not falling. You were thousands of feet up. So I'm going to snap back to Val on that, but I do have something to send you so that you know what you can do. Yes, where is this man? Here we go. This should work. Right, you can read that, and cool. Val,
Yeah.
how you doing?
Extremely stressed. I have received many presents. I don't know if any of them are going to really help, but like someone let me. So the amount of I've got a heal and a refill now. Yeah. I've got myself up to about 125 hit points.
Make yourself a perception check, and you can say you're at full hit points, given the fact you also had regeneration running.
Sure, cool.
You also got a nat 20.
I did. Perception check.
Mm-hmm. Holy right.
I'm
Very
quite good at that.
Sprouts eagles from your eyes.
Right. So
And dies because the immense trauma of eye eagles. Why?
when druids go wrong. Right. So you recognize these things, and I'm going to some of their attributes. I'm going to give you a little bit of info about what they can do, so you are a bit more prepared. Not hugely, just a wee bit.
Sure.
So you're recognizing their flight speed. Their movement speed is 80 feet, and they're dashing. So they're moving. Their fly is 100 feet around when they dash.
Mm-hmm.
They have massive sort of like rippling muscles. They're going to be very, very strong, and there's an aura of flame surrounding them. There's heat haze around their bodies, and any flesh that still clings to their bones is burning. They have sort of spirits and ghosts following them in as they fly.
Yeah.
Some of them have weapons that are reforming from sword to whip, and the whip is about 30 feet long.
Great.
You also see that some of them are making symbols in the air and casting as they fly. They're 150 feet away. What would you like to do? We're going to run this combat a little different. You're going to explain 3 or 4 actions as you want, and we're going to see how that plays out for you as these guys do things, because there is 1,000 of these things, and I'm not rolling for all of them.
No, that would be silly. Well, probably his first thing would be trying to find a way so that only a few of them can attack him at once. So he looks around and sees the guardhouse under the cage that Kurzog was in. So Val would probably go over to that whilst casting Tensor's transformation on himself to buff himself up a bit.
Okay. Tensor transformation goes off, no problem.
Yeah.
And roll me a d20.
Okay. Just
I'm rolling here
just
tonight.
a straight d20.
Oh no.
Yep, straight d20.
Oi, there you go.
So you're running in, you cast the spell, and the first of these things swoop you. You slide under, you get in the door, you throw yourself inside. As you finish the casting of Tensor's transformation, you feel yourself get stronger, hardier. You get that extra hit points, and the sort of magic crackles along your limbs as you now do more damage.
Yeah, cool.
What's your next action? These things are circling above the guardhouse.
I then... Oh, that's really as far as my plan had gotten.
Are you just going to wait for them?
I think I would love to do a sunburst.
We're out today.
Yeah, that's the problem. I do have a 9th level spell. I just can't do a sunburst with it.
What is your 9th level spell that you've chosen?
Well, I don't have. Sorry, I have a 9th level spell slot, but I don't have a 9th level spell because I'm bard, but it's 16 and 1. I don't have the. I'm not high enough level bard to be.
I understand.
Like, I kind of wanted. I don't really. No,
quick.
I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for I'm sort of like ready myself for when they come in to smite the first fucker through the door.
Okay, roll me 3d20s.
Or wall. 3d20s.
Okay, 10, 17, 7. All right, so you're standing in the middle of this thing, and this massive body just punches through the side of the gatehouse as it's just flown in like a battering ram. You dodge all the stones and bricks as they come past. They sort of like little pebbles are hitting you, but the big bits miss you. You're turning away, sheltering yourself as it just flies out the far side. Another one comes through from another angle, just smashing through. You throw yourself back. You sort of slip on the floor. You find yourself prone as another one comes straight down and just shatters the building. It crumbles around you.
Great.
But it's standing there. You're buried under a little bit of rubble.
How, can I get up?
You can get up. Yeah. It's just it's going to impact what happens next. So give me a few more actions. What do you want to do? These things are still trying to get to you, and you were in a building, so they destroyed the building.
Right. Great. I utilize so there's one straddling me.
Effectively, yeah. You're under a bit of rubble, so he's looking down at the rubble, and he just sort of might see a hand sticking out, but it's not too heavy.
Okay. I teleport using my blessing of the lady, the blessing of the Raven Queen. Mm-hmm. I don't go the full 30. I probably only go about 15. I appear right above his head, but behind him, and I appear with my sword pointing down, ready to drop on him, divine smite style.
What level?
Whatever I got left. I think it's a 5. So
okay, cool.
It's max damage.
Roll me.
I don't know if I'm allowed, but I would use the nat 20.
No, don't worry about that shit. Roll me 3 more d20s. Okay, cool. So you appear, point first, you just, and there's this wet sort of, there's this and then poof, this guy just explodes. Bits of bone, leftover burnt viscera just go flying from this creature as you completely destroyed it. Another one sort of comes in and clubs you with its sword. It's hit the sword in front of you and smashed you back. You go flying to the far side outside the gatehouse, clattering off rubble. You come up on your feet as another one rushes at you and swings down. You sort of duck under and cut across it. That's 18, 6, and 17. You can hopefully see how I'm doing this.
Yeah.
You have to roll 2 bad for this to not end up in your favor. So this is a how many successes can you get, and every turn it's getting a harder DC. You just roll them pretty well.
Yeah.
All right.
Any sign of a Dominic or anything like that?
Nope.
I'm trying to play this shit out.
Got a minute or so. That's why we're playing it like this.
Good.
As you've come up on your feet and you sort of once flown at you and it's staying in the air, you sort of gashed across its chest and it's gone past you. You sit there. It's their turn to attack back. That's okay. Right. So, I mean, one. I got 2 1s there. So, one comes flying in and it's just trying to just power bomb on you, and you sort of jump to the side, and it just face plants into the rubble. You see shit just go flying out, bricks and pieces go flying. They hit other of the demons, which sort of curl their wings around and flare up. You know, they start barking at each other in this language that you don't quite get, but it makes your ears feel like they're gonna bleed. It's just unnatural. One comes in and its whip comes flying out and wraps around you and yanks you 30 feet into the air.
Oh.
What do you want to do? It's your turn.
So I'm 30 feet off the ground?
Yep, you are face to face, but you've like sort of just been pulled and just floating up in the air by one of their faces.
Oh, okay. I will probably... Oh, that teleporting 30 feet thing would be really handy right about now. Is the whip still around my neck?
It's around your waist, but it's unfurled as it's yanked you into the air.
Oh, okay. It would probably be... I'd like to do a sort of defensive flourish that results in cuts the whip and then brings it down on this thing's, I don't know, face, arm, whatever is sort of most... and I think...
Okay.
I presume I'm going to fall at that point.
Yep. Do you just want to try acrobatics to not clap?
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be about what I need to do. Yeah.
All right, 3d20s.
Oh, that's not so great.
Ooh. Okay.
That's not so great at all.
So,
can I use my nat 20 as one of them?
Look, I'm not going to make you use so pretty much. You tell me which one of those you want to use, and it's going to add a number. It's going to add to whatever roll you want it to add to. Obviously, sure. You know the booster is not going to be worth as much as the nat 20. So if you want to use one of those, you just tell me which one you want to use.
So, sorry, of any of the things that I have, or
yep.
I mean, I'll probably burn the boosters and the reroll.
Okay. So how many boosters you got? Just the one?
I think I've got the one. But I'll put the booster on the 10.
Okay, cool. So you sort of push aside the whip and you slash out this thing's face. It yanks its head back and you start falling. As you fall, you roll really bad. One of these things sort of smashes into you and takes you to the ground. It's got one massive hand over you, one claw on each side of your neck as it's raising up its sword. Tell me what you want to do.
I cast Force Cage on myself.
Okay.
I create a box around me about 7 feet wide, basically large enough to contain me.
Okay. Two things. You are being held down, so I want you to make a Constitution save.
I have advantage on those because of Tense's transformation.
We'll make it a flat Constitution save. I was being fairly fair because of you being held down, but yeah, we'll make it a flat one. Okay, cool. You manage to push one of the fingers aside. You know, with your blade, sort of push up against it. It starts cutting into it. The hand comes up a bit. You throw up a hand to cast this Force Cage with a smile on your face, and you hear this voice, and you see the spell energy that's wrapping around your hand just gets sucked off into someone's counterspell.
Can I counterspell that counterspell?
Okay, so there's like 1,000 of these things with counterspell. I don't know how much you want to push that.
Okay. Well,
counterspell, counterspell. He counterspells your counterspell. There's many counterspells.
So no spells. I'm not allowed to cast spells. Basically,
you can cast some, just not all.
Okay.
So
that would
what's happened.
The Force Cage would have been cast at 9th level. I don't know if that plays anything.
Okay.
That's the only spell slot I got left high enough to cast it. So
let me just check this.
I think his demon being like, I got it. I'll counterspell this. Oh, I botched the roll.
Okay. This is what's going to happen. Roll me 3d20s.
Oh. Can I use the nat 20 on one of them before rolling it?
You can choose first, second, or third.
Second.
Okay.
So I roll 2 more?
Just roll 3 times, and the second one will be a nat 20.
Okay. That's going to be the best of the lot. That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It is the best of the lot, irritatingly. But there we go.
So this is what happens, all right? The force cage. I almost said hero box. I was reading the freaking chat. The force cage gets yanked. You try to counterspell at the same time. You have used. You sort of like push your sword through the finger and throw out your own hand, letting go of the sword for just a second because one hand is still controlling that force cage. The other Balors are trying to they're all working, trying to get this to you to stop what you're doing. You don't have a 7-foot cage. All the power snaps into place. A 40 by 40 by 40.
Oh, okay.
You're alone with 2 of the things, as the rest are circling outside, and it's just they're slamming on the side of it, trying to get in.
Great.
Tell me what you want to try to do against 2 Balors with a weapon on the ground.
I mean, I'm probably going to pick them up, but I also how am I looking health-wise?
You're probably about 2/3 health.
Oh, okay.
Given your failures, about 2/3 health.
Yeah, I will probably use my refill to recharge all of my spell slots because I think I'm basically out.
Yep.
And then I basically go, "Oh, boys, you're not. I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me." Sorry, I'll give you that in Val's voice. Ah, dickheads! Now you're trapped in here with me, not the other way around. I pick the sword up, it glows, and I leap for the nearer one. The one probably whose hand I did a bit of chopping at.
3 D20s.
Okay, this is where it all goes horribly wrong, boys and girls.
Yeah, well, the DC is now quite high, so let's see.
Yeah.
You got a couple of 1d4s as well.
Look, I might add a D4 to that 10.
You thrust out. Roll your D4. You thrust out, and the first Balor sort of steps aside and bats your hand away. Your weapon hits the edge of the force cage with a rings, and it's shakes your arm a bit. They sort of swing down with their swords. You jump aside and you sort of cut one across the arm before you get hit full force in the chest with a blade of lightning, thrown up against the wall. And, from there, these things just start pummeling in at you. There is no external light right now. You're lucky you have dark vision because it is pitch black due to the sheer amount of these things cluttering around, whipping at the cage and smashing around at it.
Oh, sure.
Hey, Felix. What you doing, buddy, as we cut across to you?
Oh, fuck. All right. I've been dreading this. All right. So I've lost communication with Val, essentially. I'm still running. All right. Val!
You can chat if you want, buddy.
It's just whether you're going to respond or not.
Well, you get a new phone. Who dis?
From inside the force cage, nothing. So you're running.
Yeah, I'm running.
Felt a few impacts on you through the ring as well as he was fighting. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it stops.
Oh no.
There is no connection to anyone anymore through these rings. You're by yourself.
All right. Well, the last thing I was told was to find Tig in the Feywild. How close to the River Styx am I?
At this point, you've probably been running for 8 or 9 minutes at your full speed. And since you've been looking around for the Styx Shrine where it is, you sort of notice that hill that Vanny originally was on, which means the Styx ran near it, so you just start heading towards it. Yeah. About 5 or 10 minutes later, you find yourself at the river.
Okay.
And as you sort of get close, the waves that lap towards the shore are hands reaching out. They're just thousands of these hands reaching and crashing. And then as they curl away, you hear that as the souls are drawn away from you. And then the next set comes in and it just repeats. Every now and again, there's just this sort of small, crying face as it just reaches, it just needs the warmth of life that it lacks now.
I go into my pocket and pull out the coin that that we got from the first session. And I'm like, oh fuck. Chiron, where are you?
Make a just flat wisdom check.
10.
There's no reply right now.
Oh fuck. Come on.
You yell out, and you hear the shambling and like just stamping of feet as you remember that there were thousands and thousands, legions of undead traveling around this area, all trying to get to the hill. And you sort of the hill's there, the Styx is this way, but now that you've yelled out into the darkness of this realm, you just hear the clicking of bones as the vertebrae sort of like dryly, they sort of look across to you, and there's just all of a sudden field of glowing eyes as they all recognize life in the distance, and it's just these hues of red, purple, and blue, all just 2 by 2, just spread out from a point as they notice you. What do you want to do there, Felix?
I wanna try and call out to fucking Chiron again.
All right. If this fails, if you've got anything you need to use, spend, burn, now is the time.
I spent it all last session.
At the start of every session, you get your hero point back if you haven't burnt it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm pretty sure I haven't burnt my
I don't remember you doing it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna burn my hero point to call him.
I'm just gonna straight burn it. Okay.
I need him here.
All right. So what do you yell out to Chiron after he's ignored you the first time?
All right, Chiron, you bastard! I need you here now. I have an offering for you.
There's this like ding, ding, ding in the distance of a bell tolling, and he sort of like, you see that tall robed figure with the skiff just sort of like pushing along with the stick, and as the bell rings out, all the lights in the distance, all those glowing eyes just instantly go black, and he sort of looks down at you, cocks his head.
Chiron, I have this coin. I need passage to the Feywild.
What is that? He cocks his head again. Your coin of passage out of here. Step onto my raft.
Cool. I give him the coin.
He doesn't take it immediately, but you can step on.
Yeah.
You do know without that there is no returning home.
Trying to think, like, Felix is just, before he hands it over, he's like, wait, I have something else. And he pulls out a button that Tig gave him several sessions ago. Would you accept this instead? It's from a very, very good friend of mine who's tied to me quite closely.
That represents your memories of love. Are you willing to forego all the memories, all the love you've ever had, ever will have?
Would qualify as a horrible, horrible trap.
Gets me home. I just need to get home. Yep.
He sort of looks at you. You won't remember Tig. You won't remember Valistay. Your father, your mother, nothing.
God, don't. You're making this so hard for me!
This is only half of what I want. And he says, you do that, you give me that, and you take this. And he, from inside of his cloak, he pulls out a little black box. When you return home, all you do is open this. Those two things, I'll get you to the Feywild.
So is it either, do I have a choice here? Is it like the coin to get home? Fuck. No. Fuck.
Oh dear Lord.
I mean, if I give him, oh no, I don't. I'm lost. I have so many things flying through my head right now.
I'm a very busy creature. I have not got all the time in the world. I'm the ferryman. My duty is endless.
Look, I can't. I can't do a favor for you. That's just not. Just take the coin. I'll figure out a way home from there.
Boy, there is no other way for you to get home. Those aren't handed out easily. Do you want to know what's in the box? Will that help?
What's in the box?
In the box?
In the box today. Knowledge. Visions of what's to come. Not for you, others. My
Felix
brothers,
is thinking.
My brothers wish to push. They want out now. I am not so impatient. If your people know just a little, maybe everything won't end quite so fast.
Felix thinks. He thinks back to everything that has happened and how he got here and his father being in the void and Tig sacrificing her heart for Felix to live. And sort of realizes that even though Felix is alive, he can't give up everything because Tig's still a part of him. And I think the Feywild would be the best part. Just being stuck in the Feywild would probably be the best ending for this. And we'll move on. He goes, look, here's the coin, take me to the Feywild. I'm not taking the box. I'm not doing a favor for you.
Well, if that's what you wish, your people be damned. And he takes the coin. You will find yourself in the Feywild in about 5 minutes' time, pulling up to the shore that it's mostly through the Shadow Plane. It just enters the Feywild. You'll step onto the bright green shores, and you notice that you're quite close to where you were when you first entered. The river doesn't look so harsh here. It looks it's like crystal clear waters. Like he's taking you somehow off the sticks, or you're not sure. Maybe not so confident to step into that water just in case, but
Yeah.
it does seem nicer here.
Yeah.
and familiar, like I said, somewhere where you were a long time ago. The problem is, a lot of the trees seem to be sick. A lot of them seem to be wilting and dying. This is, the Feywild. It's not even the Borderlands with the Shadow Plane, yet they're sick. All right, back Dom. You come flying out of that rib door. You are sailing out over the realms of the dead, and you sort of see or feel behind you something move. And where Felix heard dry clicks of skulls moving, this is an echoing boom, because it's not a small skeleton, it's the thing on the throne just
Great.
as it looks down at you. And as you're flying, this massive arm comes up and tries to swat at you. Make a dexterity save for me.
Okay. Let's make a dex save at -1. Classic Dominic. 9.
All right. So you get hit and you go tumbling.
Let's hold on. Let me. I must have some luck points. Hopefully, it's still left. Yes, I have 2 luck points left. I'm going to use one right now.
You got boosters, you got rerolls, you got everything.
Yeah.
A 4. Okay, let's use 2 of those luck points right now. A 3. All right, let's agree that the dice want me to be grabbed by this thing.
Okay, you do have 2 boosters and a reroll. If you want to add 2 boosters to the 9, that'll help you out significantly.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, let's just
add 2d6. See what you get. If you roll double ones, man. If you roll double ones,
7,
that's pretty
16.
Good. 16.
Yeah.
Right. So you do get hit,
Unreal.
but you're sort of getting used to this flying thing. You've done it quite a bit now. So as you start getting pushed, you just use the momentum to roll around the hand. Your whole side ribs, they're bruised pretty badly. But you see where you need to go. You head out quickly. As you're flying, you have to consciously think about if you're going to resurrect someone, and you can resurrect one person in existence you want to resurrect.
Look,
has to be a mortal,
obviously, but,
right? It can't be like you can't go, hey Zeus, come back. It has to be someone with lesser power than yourself.
That is naturally who I was thinking, but no. I'm. One god just tricked me, the other god just saved my ass. I'm gonna do what that god told me to do. So I'm like beelining for where Pyre fell.
All right. So as you look out, you find you see the bridge in the distance. It's maybe 2 kilometers, 1.5 miles out, 1.25. And you see on the bridge Pyre sort of stand up and shake his head, and your and your eyes, despite the distance, you just like seem to zoom straight into it. It's a bit disorientating having this now sort of deity level, senses, but you see it happen. And as you scan across, you see that there is kind of like if you've left, honey out near an ant like hill, that's just crawling all over it. Just hundreds of Balors, more swooping and circling around. And as they notice Pyre stand up, some of them break away and start crashing down on him. Tell me what you want to do as you arrive.
I would like to call lightning to crash into the Balors around Pyre to throw them back 10 feet when they hit.
Anything else?
The primary thing, I want to go for Pyre's weapon on the ground. I'm thinking like superhero landing on Pyre's weapon along with lightning bolts, grabbing the weapon and marching towards Pyre.
Well, Pyre's standing up and he's going to get to his weapon himself, the spear, I think it was, because the sword was used to unlock the cage, or was it the other way around?
I think it was the other way around.
Okay, so he'll pick up his sword, he'll unsheath his shield, and he's going to be like fighting off these Balors. As he stands up and awakens. The protection of the gate reactivates. Those black flames that went out roar into the sky, and the Balors that were circling can no longer cross the threshold. They're cut in half. Only the ones that are still over that side can do anything. So he's
like
fighting
440 something.
Yeah, something. Yeah, just 400 something. So he's fighting them as they swoop down at him. You see him just sort of ripping through a couple, but he is taking pretty bad wounds. So you got a call lightning, superhero landing. I mean, one other thing you wish to do when you land.
Can I see Valiste anywhere? Any signs of
You
him?
can guess where he is, given the sheer amount of things crawling on the box.
Yeah. I mean, if I see Pyre up and moving, I think I want to also try to make my way probably to where Valiste is. And I think I'm gonna use the ability Corona of Light to activate an aura of sunlight that emits bright light in a 60-foot radius, dim light 30 feet beyond that. And enemies have disadvantage against anything dealing fire or radiant damage.
Okay, so you're still flying through the air. I just wanted to have the idea of what's going to happen when you get there.
Sure.
So, from inside your cage, Valiste, every now and again, you see brief flashes of light, and you see this man. You don't really get a good idea of who it is because it's very, very brief. As someone's marching down the bridge towards you, and they're just swatting Balors left and right. But you can also see that blood is trickling down their armor as they are getting hurt. You're facing 2 Balors.
Yeah.
I
I also want to be clear. You said it was dark in there, except for that sun blade that I'm holding.
Yeah. Sure.
It's like I can see pretty well, right?
Yeah.
It's very one's light source, but yeah. So just, I reckon I really like the idea of steel wind strike on these guys.
Okay. Yep.
So yeah, I cast it and do smite the 2 of them. It's like super zippy zappy.
Okay. Roll me 3d20s.
Good. That's where it goes horribly wrong. Look, that's not great.
All right. So you still in strike. You're slashing across them, and you sort of see them like reeling back. Now, usually, still in strike, I believe, is like you can target up to 5 different enemies. You're just like doubling up.
You just
on the same
teleport,
guys.
zip. Yeah.
So it's slash, and they're sort of like curling away. They're not quite sure where you're going to come out, and they sort of start predicting your motion. And as you finish, one of them juts the handful, grabs you, and slams you into the edge of the cage. You're now down to about half health.
Okay.
Your 14 is pretty good though. So as one swings out, you sort of duck under his hand, come up, and just bat his hand down. But as you're doing it, it's like you're bringing your sword down. A whip wraps around your wrist and just yanks you back where you land on the floor, and you get just a hoof to the chest. Now you're at about a 1/3 hit points.
Yeah.
Right. Tell me what you're doing next, and let's see if Dom can get there in time.
It's probably going to be utilizing that heal that I've got.
Yep.
To restore some hit points. So my offhand is the scythe I got from Dio. I cut the whip with the offhand blade, and then plunge the radiant blade into the foot that's on my chest.
Okay, and then from
stumbling
that,
as much. Yeah, and then I get up.
Are you're gonna use smites on your attacks? I imagine every time now because you got the slots. Cool.
Yes, I do.
You know the drill. 3d20s.
Good.
You believe I have a couple of D4s you can add to things as well at this point.
So
if you think things are too low.
Yeah. Look, let's pump up. The 6 is a waste of time, but let's pump up the other 2, the 13s, with a pair of D4s.
Okay.
16
so
and 14.
You cut the whip, and then you slam, like you're pulling against it. So when you cut it, you already got that force. You slam the blade into the knee of the Baylor that's on you, and you sort of lever it, and you hear the wrenching popping noise of his knee coming apart, and you channel a smite in, and just his leg comes apart, like from he's pulled a Felix from like mid thigh down. Just sorry, buddy.
I stand up, I swipe blood off my cheek and go, I could fix that for you if you like.
You stand up as it falls. It's not dead, but it's very close. And the other one, just with your 6, push kicks you in the chest. You go flying back, and it rams 2 blades into your chest and starts lifting you from the floor. All right. You have one more turn before Dom arrives. Tell me what you want to do and roll your 3d20. Tell me what you want to do before you roll.
Yeah.
You can hopefully see how high the DCs are getting at this point.
Yeah. I am going to power word stun the one that's raising me up in front of his face.
Good call.
Then I am going to disintegrate. Oh, and I can't do 2 spells, really, can I?
You can, because it's not one action. It's a series of actions.
Sure.
Being told like a cinematic event.
Then I'm going to disintegrate the one that I pushed over.
Okay. Cool. Tell you what's the save on the power word stun? What's the save?
There isn't
on...
one. It just happens. I think they can save at the end of every one of their turns. It's a 19 at the save of the turn.
Okay, cool. So
and I believe undead have disadvantage on it. Oh no. Okay. Sorry, that's a different thing.
Roll
can't save end of each turn.
Roll me 3d20.
And I'd probably also like to regeneration on myself if I have anything left that I can do. Oh, mate, that's bullshit.
You're out of everything, aren't you? Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's done. But that's fucking horseshit.
So, because the power word stun is unstoppable, I will allow it to go off, but not before he has leant forward and tried to bite your face. You've turned your head aside. You get a bit of teeth under the jaw. You feel your jaw break, but the headbutt smashes into you. And then you sort of like, through broken face, just get fucked. Stun him. He goes rigid and falls, and you feel the blades in you sort of like rip out as you fall, which is not doing great for you. And then the one on the floor sort of walks out. I want you to roll 3d20. I'm going to tell you straight up, these are death saving throws, all 3 at once. You're alive, man. But so you hit the ground, and you're losing consciousness, and you look across at this one that's on the floor rolling, and he's like crawling his way towards, like, I will eat your soul, you fucking mongrel. And you point a finger out, and you disintegrate him in the face as he just away. He's gone.
And I cast regeneration on myself.
You are locked in a cage at this point. And you're gonna have to wait, because obviously they're doing things at the same time. So let's see. Dom, you land in the center. As you land, lightning just through the sky starts just pummeling Bael's, ripping them off the side of the force cage. This corona of light spills out of you, and you start walking towards Pyre, who's halfway down the bridge, or towards Valiste.
I guess an important question is, can I still shoot spells through my bow? It has all the same effects your previous bow did, because you can choose it too. So I mean, I wanted to get to Pyre to make sure that he was up, had his weapon, and that I could cast heal on him before turning, kind of just having a moment of eye contact with Pyre before turning to get Valiste.
He nods towards you, and as he's doing it, he nods towards you, he turns aside, and he decapitates a flying Baelor and he whistles and throws his sword towards you because you said because like you're heading towards Valistay, you're much stronger than him, so he's going to just yeet the sword towards you.
Okay. I'm unexpected. Yeah,
Takes you
and
straight
if
in the
I
chest.
if I can cast heal on him, I guess at the same time.
All right, cool. He gets healed. He reaches down and grabs one of the swords off the floor, one of the Baelor's lightning weapons, and while you see it like sort of singeing his hands, he starts hacking at the ones coming at him with that. You are standing in the middle of like you're just almost brilliant daylight coming off you. How far is the range of your corona of light?
60 foot radius and then 30 feet dim past that.
Okay. You're not normal. You're not a normal cleric for this, so it's more like 100-foot orb of light around you, which almost seems like a physical barrier. The Baelors sort of like they sort of seem to like struggle to pass through, but they're still there. There's some still fighting. You can see that a bunch have been messed up by the falling lightning, but there's some still trying to get to the cage. And from inside, you can see there's Valistay laying on the floor, and he's pointing at a Baelor which is like disintegrating in front of him, but he's bleeding out and he's very sluggish. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I guess walking towards Valistay would just be taking this sword and trying to cut through any Baelors on the way. Probably, I imagine, having it like get hit with the call lightning as it goes down and just like redirecting it into the Baelors.
Yep.
I want to get within range of Val to heal him. Primarily, that's going to be my main priority if I know he is down. But yeah, I need to try and get within. Is his force cage or full bubble?
It's a cage.
He said he was going for a box originally, though.
I was, but it's too large
still
to be a box.
Doesn't matter because it's not.
Okay.
It's not like your one spell. It's effectively like a level 20
god
spell
spell.
because they're all these things are pouring power into it. So it's still a box. However, you have certain abilities far beyond the ken of mortals now. There, Dom. So let's see what happens as you get closer. So you are hacking through. Every time you swing, lightning is sort of like coming down and fusing your blade and smashing it. Are you doing lightning every time, or are you doing anything else? Because the sunlight pours off you. What does it actually do again?
Yeah, it gives them disadvantage on saving throws that for like radiant and fire damage. So,
Okay.
I mean, not that they're really getting saving throws. The sunlight was a bit more of a cinematic effect more than anything else.
Well, you do have Radiant and Flame spells, so if you want to use one, now's the time.
Yeah. As I bring up this massive spell sheet I got to deal with now.
Should be hard to pick a single flame spell out of the list.
Well, I don't want to do flame spells because they're demons.
I just used a flaming touch.
Or Radiant then.
Control flames.
While you're deciding, from the floor inside this cage, Val, as the demon... Oh god, natural 20. Alright. From the... Ooh, nice. As the demon sort of climbs to its feet and looks down at you, what do you want to do?
I power word stun it again.
Okay. So you want to power word stun, and I believe you want to heal
and then
yourself.
regeneration.
Okay, and then as the third choice of what you're going to do here?
And then I stand up and once again just jump at him and go for it. Plant the blade in. Send a mass if he's standing still because he'll be stunned.
3d20s.
Okay. Don't fuck me on this, dice. Come on. That's pretty good.
All right. From outside, I'm going to have to play all this together. This is the final thing before we go to a break. Dom, what are you doing?
I'm casting
20
Dawn.
feet from the cage. Dawn, read me the spell, please.
The light of dawn shines down on a location you specify. Until the spell ends, a 30-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder of bright light glimmers there. The light is sunlight. When the cylinder appears, each creature must make a Constitution saving throw, taking 4d10 radiant on a failed save, or half as much on a successful. A creature must also make its saving throw whenever it ends its turn in the cylinder. If you're within 60 feet of the cylinder, you can move it up to 60 feet as a bonus action on your turn.
Okay, can that be cast at higher levels?
It cannot.
Okay. So, you're
It's a fifth
casting
level
that spell and you're walking forward. If you want to, like I said, you're not normal. Do you want to break into this cage?
I do. Yeah, I want to get within touch range of Valiste.
Okay. So, roll 3d20s. Now, your DCs are low because you haven't been here yet. Just please
But my
look.
rolling is terrible, so...
Oh! That ain't bad. That ain't bad at all.
That'll fucking
I know what I
work.
want to do on my final move if that's on the 20.
Tell me what your final move is.
Using a 7th level slot, I want to just reach in, push Valiste, and plane shift him to the Feywild.
All right. So, you move up. You watch as Valiste from inside the cage holds up a hand weakly and tries to power word stun. The demon slaps you. You fail to cast a spell. You hit the ground. It rears up to slash at you. You roll away, coughing. You see that he's like trailing blood from his mouth, his chest. He's not doing well. You know your time's about to end, and you touch your chest to regenerate, hoping it's going to help you. And as this creature raises its sword up to bring it down on you, just blinding light, like way lighter than what either Dom or your weapon is giving off. And you hear this just ungodly screeching coming from all around you as the spell Dawn is cast over this entire box. As the screeches reach a crescendo, you start seeing the creature in front of you is like already damaged, starts flaking away and turns to ash, and it just like lays across the bottom of the area.
That's
Man.
right, motherfucker.
If you hadn't rolled that 19, he was dead, by the way. That 19 saved his life.
Wow.
That was where I was like, his last roll and your first roll will overlap. So he gets there, and because your DC's a 10, unlike his, which have been going up by 1 every time, you sort of sit there and you put your
Got some
hand
D4s
against
as well.
you put your hand against the side of the force cage and push, and it just shatters on your side. And you step in. As you look down at Valiste, what do you say?
Find the others. We've been tricked.
Oh, good.
And you sort of get your hand on your chest, and he pushes you, and you feel the ground give under you, and you're falling, and you just land with a thud into a pile of soft grass in a plain in the Feywild.
It's just great.
Man, did that suck.
And we'll take a break
Thank
right
God.
there.
Yeah, that was fun.
Thank you, everyone, for sticking around for this long. This will be a 5-minute break. I want to come back. I want to keep this flowing because it's been a really good thing. So if you need to run, you run. This has been really enjoyable. Yeah, just go. Just run. Hey guys, and welcome back to Roll for Damage. This is Heart of the Plains, our high level 5e D&D game. It has been pretty lighthearted tonight. Nothing really has gone on. It's been
Pretty calm. Regular Tuesday stuff.
No, they have been stressed. I told these guys in the break that if Dominic's first roll had been under 10, Val was dead because Val had failed his first roll. On a 15, you would have been doing death saving throws, but he rolled higher than a 15. So thank you, Sarah. So you got, Jesus Christ, that's alcoholic. I can smell it. Shoot, hot chocolate goes next to me. White whiskey. What?
Why is this pure white spirit?
But you rolled 19, so Val lives. You was this close to gone. So,
Well played, sir. Well played.
That was close.
Okay.
Right. So
But you're gonna die now because Tig's gonna find you in the Feywild, and she
Yeah.
is going to beat
Yeah.
you to death.
look, before we get back to
Yeah.
this, I will tell everyone what I knew before this started.
Okay.
Before the game started, Tig said, I will prepare an action. If he casts a spell in front of me, I'm going to knock him out non-lethally, go to the edge of the bridge, call for Charon, and then drop his body into the sticks onto the riff, onto the skiff. So you would have been gone. You would have been out. You would have been out of that fight.
Yeah.
I had from you that he was going to try to walk away. I thought it was you was going to walk away and come back, right? So I was like, okay. And then when you said I reach around and hug her, so you're casting behind while next to her, she couldn't get a headbutt, she couldn't get a punch, and you burnt your hero point. There was no way for her to cancel it. And that's why I was like, oh my God, really? That's how you're doing it? Because like, I honestly thought you're going to be like, go away, Tig, and she was just going to knock you out. But didn't happen.
He's a clever boy.
He was a clever boy.
He also loves Tig.
Yes, and that's the thing.
That's
It's
the problem.
I'm
Mad props
sorry
to
I
the
didn't
battleship.
resurrect book.
so.
Book can't fight.
I
Yeah,
am
no,
sorry,
book would not have been useful.
I'm sorry to Tig that you have not had much to do because he booped you out a bit before the fight started.
And I'm
thought you were-
super sorry to Sarah for that.
'Cause I honestly thought that you were going to get a bit of time to fight, then he comes back and gives you the good touch and off you go. But didn't happen. So anyways, can I get some music? Yep, there we go, from our wonderful producer. So you have had a thunderstorm rolling around above you, Dominic. You called it there yourself, but as you sit there and balers are burning in your presence, and Pyre sort of looks to you as he walks past. He just takes the blade gently from your hand, nods to you, and then sort of like you can see he's a bit apologetic, doesn't say anything, and then he goes to take a stance in front of the gatehouse where he's been for centuries. That's his job. You've put him right back to where he's meant to be. You know, Sans Nightwalker, which corrupted him. There's this massive storm roiling around above you. Thunder rumbles and there's lightning flashing through the sky, and you sort of look up and you realize you're not doing that. That's not you. There's the sound of a pained scream or wail can be heard on the wind around this storm. And the storm starts whipping around faster and faster. You see pieces of masonry that have been knocked down start being pulled into the air and whipping around in this like hurricane winds that you seem to be in the center of. You feel this immense power building inside you, and you remember that you was told that the power would eventually overtake you. You're being given your apotheosis. You've gained that much power so quickly that despite anyone else would have just been burnt alive by it, but you've spent 500 years getting used to this sort of energies, so you're not dying, you're ascending. So wind is whipping around
Third
you.
time I have held Zeus's power at this point.
Yes, I know. This is more though. This is your entire pantheon, but Apollo.
Yeah.
As you stand there, and the light that's cascading from you sort of forms up intensely around you, and then just beams into the sky, piercing the heavens above you, right through the center of the storm that you are now in the eye of. You see this cloud start spiraling down slowly. And as it's coming down, you see that it's taking the form of a willowy elven woman with a pained expression on her face. And as she's moving, there's this faint like wailing in the distance and through the clouds, through the wind, trailing behind her. She's reaching out to you as she comes down from the sky, as you're sort of like, you're shaking, unable to move, this power just like spilling out of you. She has this like wild hair and her body seems insubstantial, and lightning is sort of like just arcing around her arms, across her chest, down her back.
This is Cyrene. I think I can safely assume without making a religion check at this point.
Yes. Her feet touch the ground lightly about 10 feet away from you, and she steps towards you holding her hand up. Do you take her hand?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would be like, what are you here for, Cyrene?
She tries to open her mouth to say a word, and all you hear is the screaming from the wind, now echoing from all sides, and she winces, and you get this idea that she can't, if she communicates, is through screams of pain. She is a scattered god that's been ripped through all existence when she tried to cast a spell to do what you have done. You can make a I think I've told you this before, but if you want to make a religion check to remember exactly why she's like this, I'll let you do it.
Oop. Dirty 20.
1 second. My Discord opened instead of what I wanted to open. There, here we go. 20. Yep, cool.
I feel like I remember something about her being like ripped apart.
Yeah, she cast a spell to become a god. She wanted to use that power to stop, to make it so that no celestials, no fiends, no anything could enter the material realm, because when at the time that she was doing this, thousands and thousands of fiends of all types were spilling in, corrupting and killing mortals, and she was trying to stop that from happening. But she had asked for Nissa and Vanny and Tig and Soot to fetch her a Fulgurat. And they never gave her the Fulgurat. Vanny had it. They gave her a false piece.
Ooh.
She tried to cast a spell, and she couldn't contain the power, because the power was meant to be channeled into this Fulgurat to contain it, so that she didn't have to bear it by herself. But because it wasn't there, her body took it. And because the aim was to close off the walls to the material realm, her atoms got scattered across the realms. She's a moving storm that screams in pain. It's the only way she can communicate. But your recent rise to godhood, especially with the lightning you're putting out, has attracted her to this point.
You kept my plane safe for a long, long time, Cyrene.
She nods
But
to
I've
you.
got a lot of work to do. Something a lot worse than just fiends and demons are coming.
She nods. She nods like a serious look on her face. If you can either guess what she's like thinking, or you can insight check it. I believe you have some rerolls and stuff, so.
I believe my insight is terrible. My insight's absolutely abysmal. Let's go to shot though. Yeah, that's about right. That's about right. That's about right.
Tell you what. If you use your nat 20 and take her hand, we'll see how this goes. You can choose not to. I'm just giving you a option here.
Can I
Can I do what?
Can I use augury? Is that something? Am I allowed to use divination spells to myself when I'm my own god?
Yeah, no, you can't do that.
Why not? Says the god.
You cannot augury yourself.
Can't wish for infinite spells.
I think I would look at her and think the only thing that I can think is, are you here for the Fulgurite? Is that what you want?
Shakes her head slowly, and you can see that she's starting to bleed away at the edges, and she like shakes her hand out, desperately looking towards you.
I say, I've learned better than to trust the gods. And I put an arm out.
She takes your hand, and the lightning that she has across her sort of travels up your arm around. You feel this sort of like pulse in your heart, and you feel your eye glow bright, your singular eye, as lightning starts to intensely crackle out of it. and it sort of melds together, and you see her face just gets a little bit of relief. She's like, if you hadn't done that, the power inside you would have driven you mad. Many gods have. You don't want to be overloaded. I have a lot to teach you, and we can help each other. I was the one that locked those things away originally. The horseman.
Well, my apologies. It was certainly not my intention coming here.
She starts to rise into the sky, and she's dragging you just up, and that light sort of becomes a ball of like solar energy, just a miniature sun. And to anyone that's looking on would just see a cloud spiraling around a sun with lightning crackling outwards from a storm as you ascend. And as you move up higher, the sky sort of starts to rip open, and she's pulling you to another plane, another place. And as you pass through it, you see that there is ocean, there is green seas, there's boats you recognize moving around. There is an island you very much recognize from 500 something years ago. The souls of your people were never lost. They were waiting for their protector.
I saw my lands get destroyed. Don't trick me like this.
I swear I'm not. And as you sort of pass through and that doorway closes, Dom's story more or less ends. However, in saying that, time moves differently between planes. By the time we snap back to Tig and Val and the other one that sometimes is there, Felix. My brain was like, Dom?
No one else is important.
Yeah. There was only 3 people in this party.
Yeah, I don't remember any others.
It's only been 3 months. I should know this. It could be years before, for that moment of you passing through could be years of time. For the moment of their time could be years. Time works funny. You can learn what you need to learn, and you can learn how to send messages to your friends, how to materialize as an avatar, how to move around any plane. You're the wanderer. You're the messenger. You can go where you will. Doors don't bar you anymore.
I do have the gate spell now.
Yes. So, as Dom is learning from the Banshee Queen, the Shattered Goddess, how to be what he was meant to be, we will move across to not Fanny, don't know why. Why am I getting names wrong? It's been this long. To Valiste, who sits up and sees as Felix wanders in, dropped off at just the right point. And
oh, good.
Let's stay. Well, I think it. Fuck, hold on.
That could have gone worse.
I think it goes without saying. Oh. What a day of days this fucking day turned out to be.
And Val laughs, and actually then sort of like it's very much like
You look like shite.
Yeah. You know those demon things?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that happened.
Oh.
Come here. Come here.
Offer him a hand.
Bring it in. Bring it in.
And as you guys are hugging, you hear saying, and Tig is there.
Tig, I can explain.
Oh no! What did you do?
In fact,
Yeah, I'm winding up to punch him.
well,
Whoa!
no, Felix, I deserve it.
Look, you may deserve it, but you look like you're about to blow over. So
What do you think? It's like, so it's not going to be too hard.
yeah. Non-lethal. Take
gonna
non-lethal.
Push Felix over and pick up Val, like, and just pick him up, like, what is wrong with you? No! And just pull him in for a big hug, like, no!
Just got you back, kiddo. Couldn't let you die.
You left me behind. You promised you wouldn't leave me behind, and you
I
left
didn't
me behind.
leave you behind, Tig. I left me behind.
You left me behind. All of you back there, and you left me behind. No.
Well, hold on. Someone told me to run. How do you think I felt?
He was supposed to go after you.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, Felix, you're the one who's been wronged here. Yeah.
I'm still mad at you.
But,
What were you thinking?
well, if you'll let me, what I was thinking is, we all survived. I have, do you want to know what happened to Dom?
Yeah, what?
Well, no.
Surely.
Yeah,
Dom
but this
should
what
be
happened.
here,
What were
son.
you thinking?
My thinking...
See, take
Okay.
smart now.
Okay.
It's your fault.
My thinking was, I have to save you. And if you can't follow that thinking, then I don't think you've ever met me.
Why you save Tig? Felix has Tig. That's why
Yeah, but
wanted you to
Tig,
save him.
if Tig has Felix, Felix has Tig. You think that Tig, that he might be a backup for you. I worry that exactly the opposite is the case. If one of you dies, what happens to the other?
God dang it.
But
Also, kind of important.
Mm.
You know how my god, the Raven Queen, gave me the sword to smite demons with?
Mm.
I did some smiting, boys and girls.
Good
Thanks
job.
to Uncle Val and to a lesser extent this sword. 2 fewer of those god demon things. And then, and this is the kind of funky bit, I think Dom got a lot of them. I think Dom got a fuck ton of them. I think, and I could be wrong, Dom is a god now.
Well, Tig did tell him to grow up and be big and strong.
Well, he's grown up pretty fucking big and strong.
I
Like,
mean,
It was sort of Zeus level lightning when I
That's-
left.
Tig now
that's
know who
one
that
way
is.
to sort of
Lit-
move on, you know.
I didn't boop me here. He booped me here, and to my knowledge, Dom is not a booper.
Well,
So surely he shouldn't be too far behind.
Guys.
Where is Dom?
Tig, as you're looking out for Dom, you feel faint all of a sudden, and your chest hurts. And all of a sudden, you don't feel like you have the strength to stand up anymore.
I'm gonna sit down now.
And you all look as she just looks a little bit pale, and her leaves are wilting a little bit.
Mm.
And you hear the sound of trees sort of bending away a little bit as Kononos walks out of the forest into this plain. And he is bleeding from the chest. His head is low, and one of the antlers that he usually has been snapped. He's holding it. These claw marks you recognize from the draconic attack. He's never healed. They've slowly festered, and he coughs and wheezes as if from a burnt throat from the acidic breath of this thing. You've been gone a long time. I waited as long as I could to see if you'd return. I'm glad you made it. I did.
I'm sorry I made you wait so long.
I have someone who's been waiting for you. Said a man with wings on his feet told him to be here, and where he was dark and scary. And he steps aside, and from behind his cloak, this little black raven head peeks out and hops to the side. And his eyes go wide as he sees Valiste, and with a few hops turned to a run, he runs straight towards you, Val, and just jumps up to be caught.
Val goes to a knee and catches him, sort of in the air. Well, as he lands on him, he's like, "Oh!"
He just sort of like nuzzles his head into your neck and just like chirps happily. And you can like see the small heaves of his shoulders. You can tell that Book is crying.
Book, where did you come from?
His eyes go wide and he shakes his head.
Right. I'm proud of you.
We look for you.
Now, what do I... And then I go to Kernanos and I go, now what do we do about Tig?
Well, there's not much really to be done. The archway stands for you to walk through, all of you, and your coins. And he looks towards Tig and sort of kneels down in front of you. And you know that fight took all your strength before, and you know the pressure of plane shifting has really just, you know, you're just tired, and you just feel very weak. And Kernanos leans down and puts a hand on your head, so like touches you and your face, like seeing if you're burning up or sick. He's like, Tagario, what have you done? Sweet niece, what's happening?
Is that how you know me? That's why I feel like I'm at home. He was dying, and I needed my tribe, so I gave him what I had to. I gave him my heart, so he and my antler, so he could be safe and be big and strong.
That seems to be a trend in our family. Mother had bid me look after you. She had many sons and daughters. Some were full of fae like me. Some were farmers and diplomats, all touched and gifted. She asked that treant to look after you. I know its servants pulled you from your home.
Yeah.
It's little wonder you are as magnificent as you are. And I've watched you as you've traveled. You've come into your own. He sort of like grabs his side again, pulls away, it's just like thick with blood. He doesn't seem to be healing at all, despite what he is. You are as fey as any of us now, and you belong with your kind, your tribe. Do you wish to return through the arch to the material world, bound by the physical and the real, or do you want to stay here? Here we can take risks, and we aren't bound by what we can see and touch, by what we feel and want. And together maybe we can try to unite Mrs. Heart and Soul.
I just look to Felix and Val and Book. I just want to be at home. I don't have a home. I want to be at home. I always wanted to be here.
You look around and you can see that the Feywild it's sort of sick. The trees are wilting, the grass is a little bit more brown than when you were here last time. And he sort of looks to you and just says, "This can be your home. We've been waiting for you, and we need rest and sleep, or it's never going to get better. I'm not shy. I'm not entirely sure how all this plays out, but isn't that part of the fun, Tig?"
Yeah. I think I know how to help. I think I know. I don't know if I need all of me to do it. I hope I don't. Because I need Felix to be all of Felix. But if I can do it without that part of me, that's okay.
We can try. I don't have... He sort of stretches again. You can see he's like getting paler by the moment. I don't have long before I need to sleep away. Centuries to heal. But if you want to stay, if you want this to be your home, say goodbye to your friends, Tig. But don't take long. And when you're done, come to me.
Okay. Yeah, Tig will turn and go to Felix first. Thank you for keeping me safe. Thank you for doing what you promised you'd do, Felix.
No worries, Tig. You have been one of the most interesting people I have ever met in apparently my short life compared to everyone else in this party. But, look, I sort of did a thing and I might not be able to go back, I sort of traded my coin to get here. So I can't really go back. So if you do need me to stay behind, I'm more than happy to.
I would love you to stay. But I think I have something you'd appreciate a little more. And I pull out my coin.
Let's make this...
Just take it. I'll trade you.
I was going to say, let's make this a fair trade.
And I'll trade you this for the button.
Yep. I pull out the button, give her the button, and I'll take the coin.
I'll put the button on my antler.
Tig, I just, I want you to know that, you'll always be a part of me. Not just physically, but I'll never forget you. No matter what happens, no matter what I'm offered, no matter what goes on tomorrow, I'll always remember you.
I hope you can come back.
I'd like that very much.
And do you remember what I said to you? Is that even if Tig falls down, she'll just grow back?
Yeah.
You're a human. You have a short life, and Tig lives for many of your lives. So, I don't know, maybe one day when you go to sleep for a long time, maybe Tig will grow back. another way. Who knows?
Mm.
But I'm sure that Tig will remember you. I'll give him a big hug and go to Val.
Okay.
I was so ready to punch you, but you're my Val. You're my battleship, so I couldn't be mad at you.
I am more glad than anything, and Felix can confirm this. I asked him to do one thing when he got here. Felix, do you recall what that was?
Fine, Tig.
There was a second part to it. I wanted you to tell her something.
Oh, fuck. Look, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of things have happened between.
This is why you and I don't really. Oh.
This is why you two don't plan.
No. This is. Oh, God damn it.
I've legitimately forgotten.
I told you to tell her I was sorry.
Ah, right. Tig! Just a quick one.
No, it's good. Ruin the moment. I told him to tell you that I was sorry, and I'm more grateful than anything that he didn't have to, because he completely forgot. But also it means I get to tell you I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was sorry that I took away your right to die nobly for the cause. But I'm not sorry that I did it at all.
Yeah, you'd be lying. You'd be lying if you were really sorry.
I wouldn't be me if I hadn't done it. And I don't regret it. It turned out all right.
Yeah. I wouldn't be here at home, and I also wouldn't have family.
So, come here. And Book and I both just hug you.
Give him a big hug. I'll like gently ruffle Book's feathers with my normal hand.
And this one and I will always know where to find you. This isn't goodbye.
No. Tig's just going to go now, that's all.
You see as like you ruffle Book's feathers, sort of like enjoys the scritch and then sort of nuzzles back into Valiste. And you can see like his eyes getting all teary again, thinking of you going, and it's just sort of chirps. Tribe?
Always.
Book is always tribe.
I then turn Tig into a sloth and we run away.
Don't think you do, buddy.
No, I don't.
Kronos walks forward to you, Felix, and says, my cousin is the Lord of the Forest, and he'd said that you were meant to deliver Kazum dead. But that was not an easy task. Tell him that you broke Kazu from his cage, and that Kazu fled to the abyss to seek audience with Pazuzu. That's the last thing I heard on the matter. I didn't think it'd take you this long to return. All of you've been gone for 5 and a bit years.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey bullshit.
Time works strange.
Is that why everything is so sad here?
I think so. He puts a hand on your shoulder, Tig, and says, Tig, we go?
We go. I think it's Tig's turn now, so you can go have a sleep.
He sort of opens his arms up to hug you.
And I will go give him a hug. A great big hug.
As you hug Kronos, you feel that you just have no energy left to give. You've waited around this long to say goodbye to your friends, he holds his hand out as you're hugging him and says, "Place the gem in my hand. The one that holds Nissa." And he sort of, as you put it into his hand, he sort of like holds your hand around his, with the gem in between. You all watch as they sort of stand there hugging for a moment. The vines from Tig's mantle and the cloak of Kernos start to sort of like wind around and intermingle. Tig, you close your eyes with your head resting on Kernos' chest, and you sort of see that Tig is smiling. You have this warm feeling of being home. You're comfortable, you are safe. This is where you're meant to be. Slowly, what remains of Tig's flesh just petrifies and becomes wooden, with cracks of bark appearing across it, which becomes a deep, healthy brown color. And the edges of her seem to blend in where Kernos is, as the same thing is happening to him. The antlers on their heads seem to grow out and stretch and split, and leaves flourish along their antlers, along their arms. You see the Fey wing sprout from Tig's back, and the wooden bone structure of it becomes another branch where just leaves and flowers bloom out from it. The sound of life and breath fades from them both, and all you can hear is a slow, steady heartbeat. Dum, dum. Dum, dum. Dum, dum. Dum. And it stops. There is a bright red glow coming from between the hands that used to be, well, they're now branches, they used to be hands. The wood sort of seems to expand and flex, and it cracks and splinters sort of shoot out, not too far, not to hurt you, but a little bit. And this bright light spills out, and you all kind of can't seem to look at what's going on. And as the light fades, you hear the sound of something small landing on the ground in just a pile of leaves at the base of this tree. And you sort of look back, there's this small girl standing there, very, very young, maybe 5 or 6 years old. She looks up at you too and takes a couple steps back, scared. And as she backs away, you watch as she shapeshifts into a grey wolf, a wolf cub, just a small pup, and crawls into the hollow at the base of the tree. Echoing around inside that tree, you can hear very faintly the sound of Tig's voice singing some sort of lullaby, some sort of comforting song. And if you look down, that wolf cub has just sort of gone to sleep. And thus ends Tig's story.
Well, mate, shall we be about it?
Yeah. I guess we're gonna find out how much time has passed. If 5.5 years have passed here, God knows what's changed back there.
Yeah.
And I feel like I guess just we got some shit to deal with. Alright, let's get out of here before you start crying.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
You're crying! You're crying in my eyes! Let's go!
Yeah, I hate it when people cry in my own tears. Cool. Yeah, we focus on moving to the gate.
Okay.
And yeah.
As you are walking towards the gate, there is the sound of lightning crackling above your head. A bolt lands directly in front of you, Felix.
All right, we don't leave.
And sitting in the earth, sticking up, is a rapier you recognize.
I drop to my knees. Val, would you believe this shit?
Yeah. Haven't you been with me the last week? Yeah, of course I would believe it. I'm genuinely surprised that you're surprised. This is a once or twice a day event.
Dominic the Wanderer, the god of safe travels, messengers, and occasionally tricks. What do you want to tell Felix as he wraps his hand around the hilt of the rapier?
The light is gonna need a champion in the darkness that comes. You have to warn the world. The horsemen are coming.
Val?
Let me guess, it's great news. And if it isn't, you don't need to correct me.
We gotta go now.
What was said, mate? Just lay it on me. Why not? Fuck it.
Well, first of all, Dom says hi.
Oh, good. I'm glad he's all right.
The horsemen are coming. Our job's not done. Let's.
No, Felix, I think our job is just beginning.
That was so cool.
Cut to black.
Okay, and as you two step through the portal, we will end the campaign right there.
Shit.
You head back home. So, how did everyone like the final session?
Aww.
It was a solid 6.5 out of 10. I'd give it.
Woof.
I feel that's about right.
Yeah.
Few
Terrible.
good twists and turns there.
Yeah.
Oh.
My heart has been up here for 2.5 hours.
I could see you just sitting there like,
Whoa! Just
Having a
Choking on
rough
my own
time.
spleen.
it all coming together, especially when like Dom started getting told, "Oh, the horsemen are coming," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to see Chiron." Oh no! No!
yeah. I remember I told you like a couple of times, I'm like, he's death, right? Like, you know this. And it's like, yeah, he's the ferryman. I'm like,
No.
I'm pretty sure.
It's fine. It's totally
So
fine.
what I
So
do
many
with my
people are dead.
campaigns,
That's what I thought.
every campaign I've run in my world on the stream informs the next.
Yeah.
Alright. Because you didn't take the box Karen offered,
Yep.
you have made the next campaign so much harder.
Yes.
Because no
Oh,
one knows what's coming except for one crazy person leaving the Feywild.
Fuck.
Who's going to
Cool.
believe the stories you guys are going to tell?
Well,
Let's be honest.
son of a
We met like
bitch.
so many
Yeah,
gods, and
that
there was
was
1,000 demons, and we just survived it all. And that was a like massive dragon, but it was covered in shadow. Then it wasn't. And also there was this big thing that climbed out the river Styx. Like, nah, man, you got.
Well, look, here's the thing, right?
Uh,
It was either do that or be the one that brought the horsemen to the mortal plane.
that
well,
that was never.
I'm assuming that's what the other one was.
well,
Nope.
you could have taken the box either way, I feel.
I didn't want to.
I'm not trying to be like you did the wrong thing, because you guys all did right and wrong things the entire campaign. Different things are going to have
Oh, yeah.
knock-on effects for the next people. I've been making notes about what's going to happen. The next one, actually, we have Agent Number One is playing in the next one. We should be running on Saturday mornings.
Not as Dominic.
Not as Dominic, yeah.
Interesting.
So 5 years passed between the Feywild and the Darker Planes, and multiply that by 5 between the Feywild and the Material World.
Oh, good.
So
Yeah.
everyone you knew that was like your age, Felix, is like grandparents to kids now. Like,
Fuck.
you know, there's a lot going on. There's a lot has
Yep.
happened, a lot has changed. And you're not walking back into the same world you left.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to explore if I get the chance to play Felix again.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm actually going to ask you both, you and Valiste, what you would be doing in the intervening years, because the next campaign is set a couple of years after this one. So, you know, you're obviously trying to tell people and do stuff. You might be NPCs, you might show up.
Val would be using his bard skills to sort of spin the tale in a more believable light.
The other thing to all of this is I just wanted to point out Simra 76 or 76 is the reason Tig died. I made him choose in Shro's stream who gets to live.
Yeah.
So we can all blame that person.
I told you, Serum. I told you he would.
I was just like,
I
choose two to
just
live.
became tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she didn't want to die as a tree. Don't you get it?
Didn't
To be
die.
fair,
Tree is
Yeah, she
alive.
did.
No,
Look,
Tig's
Tig's
not
still
dead.
alive
Yeah.
in Felix's heart because
You-
that is Tig's heart.
If you want
It's
to know a little
child.
bit more about what's going on, what happened was Kernos needed to sleep by the centuries, like he said, and he's tried to drag you into his healing sleep, and he's given the leftover flesh of your body to make sure that Nissa could be reborn.
Yeah.
And there wasn't enough left of you to make a full-fledged adult.
Yeah.
You gave
So
your
it's
heart, your flesh, and her soul, along with the spirit of Jeeves a little bit in there, who's been protecting her for a
Yeah.
long time, running around trying to find her,
Yeah, yes.
to make her whole again.
Yeah. Little baby.
So that's not Tig coming back as a baby.
No,
In
guys.
a weird way, Tig
No.
gave birth to her wife.
Yeah, we're not going to read into that.
Look,
Technically, yeah.
It's not
yeah,
even
I
the
pretty
weirdest
much
thing
put all
about
the
their
ingredients
relationship.
in a splicer and I just went microwave it and make it a big thing.
No. Tig's wife died before the campaign started, and the whole point of this campaign was her trying to find out how to get her wife back. And that's how. Yes, osmosis. That is exactly
Osmosis.
how that happened.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
If so,
But I-
we got
Photosynthesis and
Nissa
osmosis.
back. We said goodbye to our dads.
It
We
gave
returned
back
to
the scythe.
staff,
Yeah.
and we died. No.
Well, you're not broadly speaking alive.
Tig got to have a nap, a happy nap.
Yeah.
No nightmares, nothing.
And
you are a tree, which is at the start about
That was
a
fun.
year ago. I'm like, what does Tig want? Tig wants to be a tree.
Yeah.
You're a tree.
Yeah, above anything else. Before she even met Nissa, she was like, one day I'm going to be a tree. I'm going to be so one with nature. I will be nature. I will be the guardian of the Feywild. That was what she always wanted. And then she met Nissa and she was like, no, I need this person. This person's important. I'm still going to be a tree, but this person's important. They're coming with me. They're coming along for the ride. So yeah, she got what she wanted. She did the impossible.
All right. So I might, in a week or two, invite everyone back here to do a table talks or something to deconstruct the campaign and their thoughts and things. If
Yeah.
that's something the audience wants, we can definitely do that. But it's only if everyone wants to partake in said table talks.
I'm more than happy to do that.
I'd love to. Like, I want to fucking come back and do stuff, you know?
yeah.
Hang out with the
Thank-
dudes.
Thank you to everyone that showed up tonight, to the raids, the bits, the subs, the donations, the follows, everything. This has been a great and emotional journey for everyone. I think it's been a really fun campaign for me to run. I've been I don't want to use the word blessed, but it's been good to have such amazing players. So thank you all for being part of this. All right, let's say our goodbyes. First of all, Reese.
Well, I am Reese. Spoiler alert, Reese. And Felix O'Farrell. Before I go into my thing, I just want to say thank you to everyone for watching me put on a horrible accent for 12 weeks. I want to say thank you to the players for being such an awesome group to play with, and I want to thank both Nova and Veggie for giving me the opportunity to play on Roll for Damage. This has been a lot of fun. I loved it. Anyway, you can find me at Nerds of the West. We are another Perth-based group. We play board games, video games. I'm there on Tuesdays. I do horror-themed games then. And then at the moment, we're looking at doing our board game streams on Fridays. But follow us, find our schedule, all that stuff, if that interests you. If not, you'll probably see me sometime down the road. So, cool. That's me.
All right. Next up, we have Agent Number 1.
Hello. I'm Agent Number 1. I would also love to thank everybody. This has been, I think, without question, the most emotional D&D campaign I've ever played in. I've definitely never seen so many players constantly in tears in the table, and that's really, really nice. I've played in all kinds of stories, all kinds of wargaming variations of D&D and everything, and it's nice to have one with such heavy emotional content. Also, just playing in a super high level campaign at this point is a really cool and unique experience that you don't always get to get. I've had a lot of fun with this. I will be returning not as Dominic, but as a new character in this world, in this universe, in the next campaign, the next arc of this campaign, which should be really interesting. It's really funny knowing what I know now about this world, separating first what this character knows, which is nothing. So I'm really excited for all these little hooks and plots and other little odds and ends that I've seen Nova try to lead into the next campaign. I'm really excited for it. But enough about me. If you like more of me and you don't want to see me here, well, you can see me here on Mondays in this upcoming game, but otherwise, I'm also part of Wonders and Blunders, which is a great Canadian-centric podcast. That's D&D. We've been running over 60 episodes or something. We just finished a little mini arc that's like very film noir, jazzy, steampunky, that we started recording while coronavirus is still going on. But we're back to our main campaign now. It's super great. We've been doing pretty good lately, and it's a super fun campaign, short little 1-hour episodes. So check us out at wonderandblunder.com if you're interested. And if not, I'll see you here soon.
Can I get you, before we go any further, just to quickly tell everyone the message I sent you about what happened to you once you were, deified?
Like what I got as abilities? Okay, so I gained flying speed equal to my ground speed. I can cast Call Lightning without maintaining concentration. My bow attacks deal lightning, radiant, or fire damage. I also roll double damage on all of them. And I can choose which damage it wants to do. And I gain all of the abilities of a 20th level cleric with both the light and Tempest Domain.
Just casually.
Which is why I was just like, oh, I just have all of these spells now.
That's why it's just like, spell, it's like, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's God, right? So, makes sense.
I can't really cast Divine Intervention.
You can't intervene yourself, man.
You're just like, I'm already here.
I'm intervening my own conversation. Divine Intervention.
Just breaks reality. It's just paradoxes of himself. But yes. Next up is Shrogrel.
Hi guys, I'm Shrogrel. I had the absolute pleasure of playing your big dumb, lovable barbarian Tigariel, who finally got to have what she always wanted back when I first made the character like a year, 2 years ago. This has been something she's waited for a long time, and it was nice to finally get that. So who knows, she might come back at some point after she's finished hibernating and regrowing a forest, but she might not. Who knows? At least she's happy, she's got her wife and everything, which is a nice little wholesome ending. It has been an absolute pleasure to, you know, play this with everybody and make a new family, find some old family. It was so damn wholesome, and we ran through so many boxes of tissues from crying on camera and off camera, especially during the breaks. But yeah, I'm sure really you can find me here on the channel. I'm also here on the Monday nights for the Empire's Darkness, which will be wrapping up soon. I don't know, in a while. But I will be returning though, in things that will be announced on the grapevine. Other than that, I've got my own channel, and I'll be playing silly games on that, like Stardew Valley. Plus, thanks to Nova, I'll be playing Outlast and crying some more.
Through fear.
Yeah, I will cry through fear. There will be jump scares activated. But yeah,
I will
me.
probably be in the room reading a book, so when she's like, help, I'll just come give her a hug, and then she can keep going.
Oh, I'm gonna need a stuffed toy or something.
And Josh the Pirate.
Hey guys, I'm Josh Walker, or Josh the Pirate. Yeah, it's been a roller coaster. Hey, I'm a relative newcomer to D&D. I've only been at it for about 5 years now, and which, you know, it's the sort of thing that as I'm an actor and a nerd, you feel like I'd have been doing it for a while, but it was always like the nerd thing that I wouldn't do. Now that's LARP. But I fell hard, and this has been like, if I wasn't already super fucking into it, this would have done it for me. But I am super fucking into it. It has been epic. It's fun to play gods among men, but of course not as fun to play men among gods. I think Nova's done a really good job of balancing the story and the challenge level. This sort of level, balancing that is insanely hard. So I think you've done a really good job there, mate. If you enjoyed watching me do the things, you can go to therebedragonscast.com, where you can find links to the episodes of our podcast, There Be Dragons, where I play Skern Felspar, the half-elf ranger with an outrageous accent. And my lovely wife Karen plays a dragonborn fighter. So that's fun. And if you enjoyed more and you want to see more, come back here on Monday nights in the future, like mid-August. We'll probably be starting up a campaign based in the Humblewood of the Deck of Many Things, which is very exciting. And I will also be joining Shro on Friday nights for some other stuff that will be being announced soon. Exciting.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and I think just announce a lot of our upcoming projects.
Do it.
Unless in the Zoom chat, I get producer Veg telling me to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
We'll go at 5 seconds.
Yeah, he says he wants to do it.
He said he wants. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
It's his thing.
So, cool. My name is Nova, or Nova1. I've been your DM tonight in the last 3 months. We have 12 episodes. I also been DMing the Empires of Darkness game, which we had to take a break from last week because I have heaps and heaps of assignments due. I still have them due, and I'm stressing. Yes, and I have D&D tomorrow and Sunday. So
just hand them in late, man.
Yes, no worries.
Peace gets grease.
That is true. Not a good philosophy, but it's true. Right. So, yes, DMing is kind of my thing. I'm forever DM, but I do really enjoy it. I have my own world. I have custom classes. I have a lot of these things, which I'll slowly be sort of doling out for people to look into a bit more. I'm having a game coming up in a couple months on Saturday mornings, Australian Western Standard Time, or Friday nights if you're EST. And we'll be with agent number 1, who's here. We'll be with his DM from Wonders and Blunders, Mike Fardy. We'll be with 2 people from Paradise RPG, Shannon and Sean, and with the lovely YouTuber Whistle While You Work. That'll be set in the my world again, and will also be running parallel to the Tyria Dragons book Rise of Tiamat, where they won't be playing directly from the book. They'll kind of be outsiders looking in at all the things that are happening and how it affects things. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. We need an abridged Nova's World Compendium, mate. It's like 95,000 words at the moment.
This is
Yeah,
actually
it's-
a rich
I
document.
need the abridged compendium.
I need to write up all my notes in a document for people.
Yes, that's true. That too. Yes, so that's that game. Maybe 9:30, by the way, Betch, a little bit after that, just because I need sleep. Other than that, we have, as you said, we've got Josh's campaign coming up in a few weeks on the Monday once my Empires of Darkness campaign finishes. We have the Starfinder game on Wednesdays. We have something Veg is going to announce, and we have been. No, actually, I'll leave that to Veg. Yeah, so thank you so much for coming along. I'll pass this to producer Veg in just a moment. One last thing, check our panels below for our Twitter, our Discord, our YouTube, our Patreon, and our merch store. If you feel like supporting us more than you already do just by showing up to the channel, we really appreciate it. It all goes back into the channel to make things better, get everything working as it does. We're going to have new rewards for Patreon in the next month. We're going to add some extra stuff. We've just been preparing it all, and same thing with our YouTube. We've got heaps of things. A couple of the guys here know a little bit about it. We've been setting up more and more stuff to sort of release and have a good schedule. Yeah, all right. Veg.
All right. I'm actually 3 buttons ahead of myself for once.
Hey.
Who's organized? This guy.
You rolled a high initiative.
Right? I've got 2 thumbs and high initiative. Right. So yeah, I've got a few things to announce, which the guys have been announcing anyway, which is fantastic. So yeah, we have the 2 games which have been mentioned, which is Josh is going to be running a Humblewood game in the very near future. Nova is going to be running a new campaign featuring the crew from the Ruffians, which is going to be amazing. Shro and Josh are going to be joining me with the Dreaded GM and the Dead Aussie Gamer for an official Roll for Damage campaign. So this is going to be a campaign. It's run on the Game on Os channel as a part of a partnership with them. It is called Roll for Damage. It is an Eberron setting game, and it is starting on, let me get this right, the 31st of July.
There we go.
That'll be absolutely epic. We have put a lot of time and effort into making the characters. We're doing character interviews. We're going to be doing some one-on-ones, some table talks. We have a lot in store for you, so come along and check that out. It is going to be absolutely epic. Besides that, I believe that is it, actually. I think that's it, yeah? Did we do it all? Is that everything?
Yeah, there's a few things we could announce, but we'll wait till we actually have that completely ready. Probably next week.
Yeah. Next week we'll announce a hand. We have games next week? Yeah, we have Empire Darkness.
Yeah. We've got Empires and
Starfinder.
And Starfinder. Man, I love Starfinder.
Then the week after, we'll probably have those 2 games plus the table talks for this. Just give me a week to get things done.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So there you go, guys. That's everything in the loop here with Roll for Damage. Of course, if you do want to keep in communication, jump on that Discord and hit us up. We've just launched a bunch of new channels on there, and we're slowly cleaning it up to make it a bit more nice. So come on in, post some pictures of your pets, have a look at my puppy. It's adorable.
It is.
I'm going to be posting puppy pictures as well.
I took it to the Stream Perth meetup tonight. It's amazing. So yeah, that's gonna be it from us. But stick around. We're gonna go chuck some love at someone in the format of a raid, as we always do. And there is someone who is on at the moment who I'm like keen to raid. Their name is Toliner, and they are an artist, and they are doing some fucking Brie level shit on this artwork. Brie level is my new measurement for really good art. Yeah.
Oh, that is a good
But
measurement.
it's a high bar.
It's a real high bar.
Let's
Oh.
do it.
I cannot wait.
So we're gonna go raid her. You guys chuck her all the love you can. Chuck her heaps of follows. Let her know where you came from. Put your R4D emotes up there, and keep spreading that D&D love. And we'll see you guys in the next game.
Yeah.
Goodbye, guys.
Hey.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Love you.